Okay, the next topic is line graph. Now, again, we are still in chapter 3 of the Tableau book, and line graphs are covered, in different pages. It's not all in one sequence of pages, but you need to, you go through the textbook chapter, and then look at the line graphs. I'm going to cover all of those different line graphs now. A line graph again is a very important and useful chart, like bar chart. Bar charts are really useful because of the height or the length. If it is vertical, then it's height. If it is horizontal, it's length. It's very easy for people to compare one bar against another bar because the heights are a lot easier to make sense of, as opposed to a pie chart where you have wedges and it's kind of hard to tell whether one is, especially with very similar sizes, it's difficult to tell. And so that's for bar charts, right? Now this one is line charts. Line chart is normally, in most cases, you'll have time on the x-axis and some measure on the y-axis. So you will have a visual representation of the measure values over time. And then of course, if you use a dimension for color, then you can have different lines, making it easy for us to compare over time. And this, I thought, I was reading through some article and I came up this, and I thought this was a really nice looking chart, so I will use that as an example of a line chart. And I have a little source given at the end, so there it is. So if you want to take a look at this chart, use this link, and it gives you, and it follows pretty much, if you think back to storytelling book and the kinds of concepts that we are covering in the storytelling book, all of that you will see here, where the x-axis is labeled with, I suppose this was done in 2018. So we have the origin point, the current point, and then the future where forecasting is done. And then you see different regional areas, and then of course the title and where the legend is placed, and the white space and the grid lines are very useful. So this looks like, to me at least, it's a very well made line graph, right? So when you read newspaper or websites, when you see a visualization, I would like you to stop and look at it and then try to correlate what you see with the kind of things that we are learning in class, to see how well it is made. Are there ways in which it can be improved, or what are the problems with the visuals that you're seeing? And that would be really a learning experience for all of us, and I do that when I read newspaper. Okay, so now let's start with a very simple line graph. Okay, again we'll use the same file. Okay, that one. Okay, so you bring in order date. Ship date. This part of your textbook uses ship date for some reason, which is fine. We'll use ship date. Okay, and you change that to from year to month. Okay. Now we're going to also filter (2014) and 2015. Okay. Now sales to rows. Okay. So now we have a line graph. Okay, now if you bring in product category to color, then you're going to have okay. Now let's put this back to year. So now we have only 2 years, 2014 and 2015. So the date pill has a built-in hierarchy. We will be talking more about hierarchies later on. So when you see a plus sign in the left, okay, when you click that, then the function here, the year will hierarchically it will go down to quarter and then month and then day and so on. Right, yeah. So if you click that, then you'll have year and quarter, right? Now also note that this is a blue pill. Okay, blue pill is for discrete and green is for continuous. Okay, that's the distinction. And since categorical variables have discrete number of values, they are considered discrete, and then a green pill. So now this plus sign has changed to a minus sign, so which means if you click that, then quarter will disappear. Okay. Now if I go and click that one, the plus sign here, then it will expand to the next level. And if I click that, it will expand to the next level, and so on. So that day is the final level. After that, there is no. If you have time encoded in the date, then you will have a plus here. And you can drill down even further. Of course, drilling down this way is useless now. Just to show you. Now if you click the minus sign from here, everything gets collapsed. And of course, if you want to look at a particular level, then don't use the plus, use the down arrow and select the particular level of your time. Okay. So let me select quarter. So now we have only 4 quarters. Okay. So that means all the quarters of the selected years are combined. So now when you have discrete, think of discrete, you think of them as buckets. Okay. So you have one bucket for Q1. So all the Q1s will go in there because it is a discrete bucket. So whatever year you select, okay, all Q1s of those years will get added here, and so on. Okay.